Chantel's Beauty Talk. Today I'm going to get to interview a very personal friend of mine. Her name is Rose Paulino, and she has her own fashion line. It's also a swimwear line as well called Rose Paulino US. Hey Rose, I see you in here bright and early. We're just going to wait for a little bit of some people to join in so that they can know that we're on live as well. And I'm so excited to talk to this woman. She has left the New York City area to go to Miami, and she's been there for quite some time, but she's been in Swim Week, In Touch Weekly. She also has some very great influencers rocking her swimwear, so I cannot wait to pull you up, Rose. So actually, we're going to start on time. We're going to start on time on Sunday. And I know some people will start coming in. As your girlfriend. And yeah, she has high fashion or high end fashion that is at an affordable price. I had to make sure I said that right. Hey girl.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. A little nervous, but I'm here.
It's okay. Okay, so like I told you, it's just like we're just talking on the phone like we usually do on a FaceTime.
Okay.
So, and I do want you to feel as comfortable as possible. So, we're going to get right to it.
Okay.
So, Rose, I did a small introduction of you. And I have to say, we met each other in 2018. And it's so crazy how life kind of comes like full circle because here we go back on live. But you have had a really, to me personally, and I feel like to everyone else who has followed your astounding work, you had a pretty bright career. I mean, you have a swimwear line, you expanded to an actual clothing line as well. You've been in Touch Weekly. You have Vina Love from Growing Up Hip Hop rocking your bathing suits. You have so many other accolades being in Swim Week in Miami. And I know the list goes on. How does it feel that, you have been making some major leaps in your career, especially for your business?
I guess it doesn't feel like anything yet because I haven't reached my end goal. So
Okay.
of course, my end goal is to fund like a nationwide entrepreneurship program for the foster care kids.
Okay.
Um, but I guess like all the like rewarding moments throughout the length of my career so far, they feel like normal things to me. It doesn't feel like anything special because I haven't gotten where I want to be yet.
Okay.
So I kind of don't think much of them.
To date, what do you think has been, I guess, your biggest accomplishment thus far? Because I know I mentioned some. I know, you just made your last statement, but which one feels, I guess, like the biggest out of all of them that you feel like you made a major leap?
I think New York Fashion Week for me was like one of the dream come true.
Yeah.
Uh, I used to grow up in New York and go to fashion school, and then FIT, and those were the things like the whole education system is around New York Fashion Week. So it was always like that one big moment. So just being able to showcase my line in the show, you
Yes.
know,
I
at
remember that.
here, I was like, oh my God, I did it. And you would think like that's your most successful moment, but
Yeah.
it's not. There's more to fashion than just New York Fashion Week. And there's so much
Yeah.
more to building my business. So that so far has been like the most fulfilling one for me so far, but I know that there's more.
Okay. Yeah, I actually remember New York Fashion Week. Is that the one was that from 2019 that you were in? Which Fashion Week was that you were
Yeah, it was
in?
February 2019.
Okay.
That's the one where you were like backstage with me, and it was so
Yeah.
crazy.
It was chaotic back there, I must say. But at the end of the day, you had on this very beautiful black fur coat, I believe, a really cute hat to go with it. And I just remember you had the biggest smile on your face. And I guess that was because obviously it was a very accomplishing moment.
It was so bizarre too because they wanted us to wear like a flying solo T-shirt to represent
Yeah.
the organization that put together the show. Not me, I put my fur coat and I said, I'm too bougie for this. So I put
You was bad at bougie. You had on the red lipstick.
I put that fur coat on and walked down the runway, and everyone was like, did she really not wear her flying solo shirt? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear my fur coat. This was my show.
Right. Well, you have to, first of all, you want to talk about the importance of while you're in fashion and any type of round, how important it is to also be able to stand out.
Um, to be honest, I feel like there's no way to stand out. I think your mission is what makes you stand out. Like if you're using
Yeah.
fashion to, I guess, inspire people in the community and have an end goal, then that
Yeah.
makes a difference. But I feel like it's harder for people who just want to start a business that's kind of like just for yourself because you want to just
Yeah.
and have money. If there's no good karma going all around where you're giving back and you're
Yeah.
receiving back, then I feel like it's impossible to grow because people fall in love with the fact that you want to help the community or
Yeah.
that you're giving back through fashion. So that's kind of
Yeah.
that allows me to have my followers and the people who have stayed in touch with me throughout this process.
Yes, of course. And I'm one of them because I
Thank you.
absolutely, I love your work. I love your swimwear. And when I first met you, I know you had the swimwear line. And then I looked on your Instagram, and then now I'm seeing clothing too. So before I get into like all the other back end stuff about, where you're residing and you're currently located, how did the clothing line come into play with your business?
Actually, I went to LA for the Television and Film Awards, where
Okay.
presenting the best reality TV show, which
Okay.
surprised me at that event. Love Island won.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but they didn't win. So I met a factory there, and that factory was like, "Oh, we would love to make your clothing," because they were at the award. They were like one of the guest members.
Yeah.
So they also design clothing for other boutiques, and I was like, okay, I could do this. So I sat there, did a couple samples with them, and nothing. It's been just like a whole sample process. But now that people are reacting well to the clothing,
Yeah.
to be like, okay, these are my best sellers. People are reacting well to this. I can order inventory of these selected dresses, and
Hmm.
that's kind of been the process so far. But
Okay.
really nice to work with. They're unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it is a Mexican factory.
Okay.
Uh, but I gotta stay to my roots, work with my Latino people.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just like how I'm sure most people and what we all should be doing is supporting people in our own communities as well. And then in addition, branching out to extend that same invitation to other people in other backgrounds as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're doing,
Okay.
especially because your clothing are like it's very edgy to me. It's very chic. Like who is the Rose Paulino US girl? Or let me say man, because your swimmer actually is for men and women
Yeah,
alike.
so the men and women is different. The men's swimwear, it's made for him by him. So
Okay.
on top of just my standard sizing, when a man makes an order on the website, he's able to put in the additional comments box at checkout. He can put his exact measurements, or if he has like any specific alterations he wants to make to the trunks.
Hmm.
So it's altered to every customer for them. So it makes it like personal.
I
You're
love
not
that.
the standard sizing. I had one guy who was like, "Can you make the inseam 6 inches?" He said, "I like my nuts hugged." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Did you start bursting out cracking up after you saw that quick note? Because I think that's what makes you very personable as well, that someone could actually, give some detail into what they actually want to buy from you. I think that makes you very unique.
I mean, I do take the time to text all my customers, tell them, hey, so your order is made to order. So are there
Okay.
any requirements for fitting that you want me to add, or any specific areas that you're insecure about that you want me to like blend in and make it better for you? So, I want people to
Mhm.
wear who they are and be confident in what they're wearing. So that's why I dedicate so much to the whole it's made for you by you,
Okay.
and do the whole like custom made swimwear.
I think that's great. I think that's really awesome. How has that been received by your consumers?
So for individual customers, it works well, but it does not work for my wholesale buyers because I can't sit here and make, a unique swimsuit for everybody that goes to their store to shop.
Yeah.
It would be impossible. So for them, I have to do the standard like US sizing and excuse me,
It's okay.
okay.
So I have a question too. I know everyone has also before I go into the next question, leave Rose some hearts to show her that she's doing a great job. And then second, put up some fire signs because Rose, I don't know if you have samples to show with us, but we do have her Instagram page. We will share everything. And trust me, when you go on her Instagram page, her website, everything she has is absolutely fire. Chantel Beauty Talk approved! Exclamation point.
The velvet slim piece.
Yes. All right, Rose. So I know you made a leap of faith and you went from New York to Miami. Like, what was that like? And then how did you even come to the realization that, you wanted to even make a move such as that to go down south?
So for me, moving isn't that big of a deal. Growing up in the foster care system, I did move around 11 times throughout my childhood. So it's
Yeah.
almost like an itch inside me where if I'm somewhere for more than a year, I start getting anxiety and I'm like, oh my God, I need to move somewhere new.
Got
Uh,
you.
so moving from New York to here, it wasn't any issue for me. But the main focus was I was tired of working for a design company and watching my ideas just make money for them. And I didn't get any royalty. I witnessed just my designs making someone else rich, and they weren't even helping the community or doing anything. It was just like greed or something to me. So I was
Yeah.
like, why am I here? Like I could do so much more with my talent. So
Mm-hmm.
I went solo from that company and I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to take my last $2,000 and move to Miami. So when I moved here, I was doing pop-ups at the beach, which it was so crazy. It was so hot, but it's kind of like what got me to survive out here because the Miami
Okay.
fashion world is very tight and cliquey. But
Okay.
because I was on the beach, constantly hustling, trying to survive, I did get into some stores on consignment. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I started. And that brought me in a little bit of money. But then I learned that it doesn't work when you do consignment into stores. Because if something doesn't sell at the retail price that you placed it in,
Mm-hmm.
they will put it at a discounted price and keep discounting it until it sells. So the profit margin you
Yikes.
thought you were going to make isn't what you actually make in the end.
Wow.
So
That's
I
actually a really good notation for folks if they are selling things inside of a consignment store. Like, just know what you're getting into. So that's definitely a gem, Rose, that you're sharing for sure.
Yeah, so that happened to me. And then I don't know, since then I've just been trying to make it work. I hired a business coach. Her name is Sarah Shaw. If you guys know the movie Legally Blonde 1 and 2,
Yes.
so all the handbags in that movie are designed by Sarah Shaw. So she built this company up to like $11 million and then sold it for 16 million. And now she dedicates her time to just business coaching. So I've been following a lot of her steps
Mm-hmm.
and I've been with her for like almost a year now. And it's all about just modules of how to get into different boutiques. The same boutiques that she got into, like basically she refers me to them. They place like a test order from me. And then if it sells well, they order more. So I can say until right now, I've had a good 9 boutique stores that continuously order and are always like, oh, what
That's
do you have new?
amazing.
So that's been working well. But with COVID, everything went downhill. I was like, no.
Girl, I feel like COVID has either, it's like literally made you, or it could have like broken some areas for some folks in the business world. But either route that someone has probably gone, if it's good, it's going to excellent. If it's not for the good, like I still feel like there's a way that for every negative, there's always a positive. And I know we've also talked about where there's negative, there's positives as well. So, like, how did you turn the negative from like the COVID and the pandemic? Obviously, we're still in it, even though we're allowed to go outside a little bit more. How have you been able to overcome that?
There's no doubt for the first 3 months of COVID here in Florida, I had so much anxiety. I got depressed. I was like, oh my God, my business is gonna fail. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to claim bankruptcy so soon into it. So I kept looking and thinking, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? How do I transform my business from a wholesale business to a business to consumer?
Mm-hmm.
So just like the past 2 months have been just changing everything around. So
Right.
that's why like my website is constantly looking different. I'm constantly changing the coding. Um, I started using Facebook ads and Google ads, and that's what's been working for me. Like I invested in marketing,
It's
and
power marketing.
yes, but the ROI is good. It's times two my investment, so that's what's keeping me alive right now. And
Okay.
hopefully, I can keep investing more to just keep existing throughout the pandemic.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned that. What about TikTok? Like in like IG and etc. And more people are more on TikTok than I feel like people probably know, even though everyone posts stuff from there. But I think it just depends on like what age range you could possibly be in, depending on how often you use it. But has that helped you in any way?
TikTok definitely did help. When I first started the account, I was surprised to just get like 2,000, 1,000
Yeah,
on one video, and I'm like, wait, is this real? Um,
it's extremely organic.
yeah. So a lot of people from TikTok would go to my website, and I would get like maybe one customer a day from TikTok for a little bit.
Hmm.
But then it went down and down. So I feel like they're developing some kind of algorithm for it because my posts aren't
Hmm.
as exposed as before.
Oh, yeah, because I know I've done, a few TikToks and I was on it very heavy in the pandemic when COVID first started to keep, myself busy. And like I was like, oh, like these numbers are great. Like you're talking about, the algorithm was extremely organic, but I think everything is just changing, especially because there's so many people on the web. And then now everything's changing as well because people can go back outside.
Yeah, that too. And all the celebrities are on it now. So they need to develop some kind of algorithm so that
Right.
celebrities stay on top pretty much.
Yeah. So we have a question, Rose, and I want to shout some people out. And Darcel has actually two questions. And everyone, if you have a question, put it in the question box. Darcel says, what is your process in choosing models? Do you prefer the industry standard or do you prefer diversified models?
So when I started, I chose all type of models because I believe that every woman is beautiful in her own way. So I chose
Hmm.
real women, like my friends, the women around me that inspire me. So I had different body shapes, different ethnicities, because I wanted to
Hmm.
show like I designed for every girl, the curvy girl, the slim girl. It doesn't matter if she's Chinese, Hispanic, Black. It doesn't matter. We're all one woman in the end.
Right.
So I guess like if I can find like a way to advertise your body through my swimwear and make it for your body, then you're a qualified model for me at least. I don't have like any specific model that I stick with. Now,
Right.
I do work with one model that's all over my website, but that's because she's free. So,
Hey, listen, that's working for you. And obviously, if that fits your business needs, I think, you have to make smart business decisions. And is obviously working for you, Rose. So keep it going.
I mean,
Uh,
she's in like modeling school, building her portfolio. So my website is kind of like it's like a
mhm.
trade-off. Like I get her professional photos, she models my clothing for my website. So we're
That's
helping each other,
beautiful.
a give and take. It's not like, oh, I'm using her and that's it.
Oh, no, absolutely. You know what I think as well? I think what I have been noticing while doing these lives is that everyone is a give and take, right? So it's always great to have people that are willing to work with you. I'll say that. Because like you said, for every negative there's always a positive. But the positive thing about this is that you're able to like barter services and you have a consistent model. You don't have to keep like changing and changing and changing. But what I do notice on your Instagram page is that you have all types of ethnicities, you have all types of body types. So it's to make anyone feel like they're special and a part of your brand.
Yeah. I do want every
So,
woman to feel like, there's no such thing as ugly. Everyone's beautiful in their own way. So
mhm.
that's why I have so much diversity in terms of ethnicities or body types, is to just show that everyone's beautiful in their own way and keep that consistent as my brand grows. Like, I don't want that to fade away.
Right. Speaking of models, are you planning, because Fashion Week for New York is in September, are you planning to join that or no?
Right now I'm like up in the air about it. I wanted to do one fashion show or showcase one collection in each one, including
Hmm.
worldwide ones. So right now I have the fashion festival in Ibiza, and then there's Fashion Week in Milan. So I kind of want to go towards those two locations because I've
Okay.
already done Swim Week twice here in Miami. I've done New York Fashion Week once. I already know what it's like. So I
Yeah,
want to explore other countries because I want to globalize my brand and make it global worldwide. So
that's
I
gonna
feel
be
like,
awesome.
yes, I feel like showcasing to the other shows will give me the opportunity to meet people and have connections everywhere.
And I want to give you a shout out too, because you remember I was giving you obviously your accolades earlier, but um you're in Touch Weekly, so I want to definitely note that, which I want to tell you congratulations on that. And
Okay.
then also you had Vina Love. I know she has been a model for you. If you guys don't know her, she's in Growing Up Hip Hop New York. So how was that experience? Because like that's also like big as well.
Actually, randomly, like I told you, I spend so much time just doing pop-ups on the beach and trying to network as much as I can and got into a couple stores. So throughout those stores, I met someone named Kalia Clark.
Okay.
So Kalia Clark is from New York, and she's a stylist, and she's also like a radio host. So she was
Okay.
out here in Miami for the Super Bowl week, and I had no plans, like nothing. But she has like a connection with the fashion like niche here in Miami. So they were like, "Oh, we need to have like one designer at the Super Bowl that's local, that we can say like we're not just working with like famous people, but we're also helping the locals come up." So she
Right.
thought of me. So I got a call randomly like, "Hey Rose, do you have a swimwear collection you can put on the runway? Flo Rida and 50 Cent are going to be on stage, and then you'll have your models walk through in your swimwear." And
Yes.
I was like, yes. So it was like super crazy. It was like I was notified the day before. So I had to put this collection together, get 8 models together in one day. So it was crazy. But I made it work, and we had a great show. And I was there in VIP with like Flo Rida. And then I met him and his video team, and they were all super nice. 50,
Yes, Rose. These are, girl, your
uh,
stuff is getting in front of very prominent people.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, but it hasn't done anything for my business until right now. Like, yeah, I was in the same event as them, and I made a connection. I said hello. Now I know your team's information, and we can work together for later. But it didn't do anything. Like, it didn't bring me sales. It didn't expose me like to something else. So I don't know. I don't feel like it meant anything. But it was a cool
Okay.
experience considering I wasn't doing nothing for the Super Bowl weekend.
Right. I think the one great thing that I can say, and to still shed a positive light, this is Sunday,
It's the
and
day
Sunday,
of the Lord.
yes, but Sundays are great, and every day is a day of positivity to me anyway. But just because maybe something doesn't happen that day, like at least that connection is obviously it's still secure, so that anytime that you're doing something that may be super major or super big to you, because this depends on like how you feel about your business, you're like those contacts, people don't just get those on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Especially you're not going through like your PR, or you're going through a third party. You made that connection directly. So you never know, like sometimes like how even I'm pretty sure life's gonna go full circle again, and we'll probably do something or collaborate on something. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll end up interviewing you again. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the beautiful thing about it is you never know how that one contact can actually take you somewhere, and it could be sometime down the line. I'm not going to say when, but you'll be like, wow, like that's just a part of the process and my growth level where I needed to be at the right time.
I mean, I will say this. I got invited to a party at Flo Rida's house, and oh my God, that house is just crazy.
Girl, see what I'm talking about? These are like big things. They
Which
really
there,
are.
Afrobeat, but he wasn't as big. And we were just talking, and we exchanged numbers. And then now I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, that's the guy that sings that song, Joanna.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, I met someone important I didn't even know.
Yeah, you have to, like I said, I think every contact that you have, girl, save them. You never know. That may change something so huge in your career. You never know. Speaking of which, you were also in Touch Weekly. I know I've said that a few times. And that's still featured, and you have a pajama set, right?
Yeah,
That was
so
featured in that.
during quarantine, I was so bored. I was like, what do I do? So I was like, okay, let me try and create like a. Can you shut him off? He's so annoying. Sorry, my dog is barking
It's
crazy.
okay, girl. We're all at home. Well, most of us we're all at home.
Yeah, so I did a 4-piece pajama set collection, and it's very simple. It's just like a cute short with a matching top, and then it comes with a matching headband. And then the
Hmm.
headband has 2 buttons here on the side, so that in case you need to run to the grocery store really quick, you can just put your mask on and
I
walk out.
love that.
Yeah, so I do have one here in the gold.
Yes.
Really
Let's
quick.
see. And Darcel has another question. So Darcel, I'm gonna actually read your question
So
really quick too.
okay, so this is the bottom. So it's
Hold on,
in
I'll throw it back up.
white and satin, and
So
it's
pretty,
super.
Rose.
It has like mesh lining. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, it's just like a pretty silk pajama set. The top is like
Yes.
full. It's just a spaghetti crop top. So
I
it's.
love the gold, Rose.
I wish you told me that. I would have sent this, but you were like, you want the blacks. But the black did arrive yesterday. So tomorrow, once USPS is over, I will send you your sample.
It's it's fine, girl. Trust me. Either way, I'm a rocket. But I think that's a beautiful color. So I see why it's an In Touch Weekly. Also, how much is the price point?
So my prices range like, if it's from an old collection, it's down to like the 20s to 40. And then if
Got you.
the newer collection, then my prices go from $45 to 90, or the most expensive product I have is I believe $102.
All
But
right. Mm-hmm.
most of the time it's affordable. I always have a sale going on. Like right now, it's buy one get one free for swimwear, and it includes free shipping. For the menswear, it's buy two get one free, and then I have the active wear where if you buy $75 and up, you get free shipping. So I'm always trying to just help the customer like in any way I can, even if there's like a small
Yes.
bit that's free. Because I want people to feel like I'm getting bang for my buck. I'm super big on that. Like I grew up like
Mm-hmm.
that, buying stuff at Salvation Army or Goodwill, or
Yeah.
the clothes I got at Salvation Army that would designer clothes that people threw out, but I would exchange it at Buffalo Exchange for something more current.
Oh, so you giving everybody tips on here.
Yeah, so I did all of that growing up. I was like, I'm in a fashion school. I'm not going to go to school looking like a bum. I need to look good.
Right. And is that including both the clothing as well as the swimwear, or is that just everything? Are those price points?
Everything, like it can range from $20 all the way to like 100. So I'm always within that price range. It never goes up because I know what it's like to be, on a budget, on the go, and moving to the rhythm of the city. So I know you want to get bang for your buck. If you can get 2 outfits under $100, then that actually means 4 outfits if you mix and match.
Okay. So I'm also going to talk about, it brings us to the beauty codes. And you guys know I always hook you up with some discounts. So, Rose, Your swimwear is automatically buy one get one for well buy one get one free, but it totals $68 with free shipping.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
And it's the code is Rose Gift if they subscribe to your mailing list.
Yes. If they subscribe to the newsletter, I promise I won't stalk you via email. Like, I'm not gonna bombard your emails. Uh, I just send like, just one email anytime there's like an announcement or like a new magazine feature to let them know like what's trending or
Okay.
like a new piece or a new collection that's up. It's always like one email a week. I never like do extra.
And also, you should definitely subscribe to not only her mailing list, but you're also doing something right now where you're going to give people off only your clothing 20% off if you use the code Beauty Rose, all in capital letters, guys. Now you can either choose one or the other. You can only use the one code and one purchase, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they can basically either buy one item, get 20% off using Beauty Rose, or they can get buy one get one free in the swimwear with free shipping if they spend 68.
So first off, I don't think you can beat these prices at all. And then like I said on my Instagram story, if you're looking for some swimwear, I don't think you can never have enough, honestly, because there's obviously vacations, there's spa days when we have them or when they come back. And obviously like it's still hot enough to go to the beach. Like we got some time before summer ends. So listen, like you will not be disappointed. I think your stuff is very elegant as well. It has like a sexy sass and elegance to it.
So I wanted to show you really quick. So recently I had a request from Erica Mena. So she wanted a velvet one piece with a thong, feature. So this is what I had made for her.
It's so pretty. I love that.
So then this is the back. I don't know if you can see like
Yeah, I see it.
the thong, but and it has like the emblems in gold to give it like a rich feel.
Love that.
But yeah, it's just one piece. The two straps on the back crisscross. It's
It's
very
so
sad.
sexy too.
Yeah, but it's so sad that she ended up canceling the order.
Oh no.
So
Girl, you can send that to somebody else. Wink, wink.
okay.
So guys, like as you're seeing, like Rose has a lot of great things. Rose, if someone is willing to pay obviously a higher price point for you to actually customize swimwear, are you taking those type of requests, or is it literally like, you just only have to go on the website?
So I do custom made. It starts at $80 based on the detail of the design. If it's a simple silhouette that I already have like in stock or a pattern of, then $80 is fine. But if I need to get more like sequins or get jewels to sew on, or it needs like additional detail, then that'll raise the price. So it can go anywhere from $80 all the way to $200. But it all depends on like what material they want, the details, and that's pretty much it. Like,
Okay. I think that's still a great price point no matter like how you put it. And I like the fact that you are considerate and keeping everyone in mind as well. I think that's what makes people buy your stuff, especially because everyone wants to feel love, especially in their pocket.
yeah.
Darcel also says that you mentioned having a mentor slash consultant that helped you get into certain boutiques. I can't see the rest of your question, Darcel, but I'm just gonna make this up. Do you think that having a mentor is necessary when having an entrepreneurship?
I thought that I could do everything by myself in the beginning. I was like, oh, it's whatever. All the information I need is on the internet if I look hard enough.
Yeah.
But that's not true. You start to develop anxiety. You start getting nervous. You start getting insecure because you're like, okay, did what I learn, if I apply it to my brand and my business as it grows, is it going to be worth it? Is it going to have a good outcome? You kind of just never know what the outcome is going to be on every decision you make, because it's always a learning curve. So I definitely think that as someone who's like already been there, done that, that's coaching you, they definitely help. They give you some sense of clarity and kind of just like, everyday goals and long-term goals to fulfill.
Got you.
So
I
every
think that's
time,
a great point.
yeah, every time you accomplish something, you feel closer to your goal, like your end goal in the end of where you want to be. And
Right.
a coach, like they have connections, whether it's marketing or PR or connections to get featured in magazines. Like a lot of things that have been happening to my business are from Sarah.
And I think that's beautiful. And I think, and I know I see Darcel in the comments as well, that sometimes it's hard to find a mentor because some people always like they could be scamming as well. And I think there are, there's a handful of folks that do that. But I think when you find that right person, maybe Darcel, maybe it's not at this moment, but I do feel like when you do find that person, keep that person, like keep them.
Like I
It,
have Sarah forever. I'm one of her, I guess you could say one of her rising success stories.
yeah.
So I can go into the community group on Facebook and say, hey guys, this happened. I used this template, this connection, these emails, and I let the people know in the group, like, this is the process I did. This was the outcome.
Mhm.
Let me know if you guys want to try it and if it works out for you. So definitely every business, even if you do the same thing another business did, it's never going to be the same outcome for you. It's always different. Um, like I didn't expect to get, 1/4 of a page on In Touch Weekly. I thought I was going to get one column, like something super small. And then when I go to the supermarket and look at the magazine, I'm like, no way. I didn't know it was going to be that big.
That's a big blessing. And
Yeah.
sometimes you get more, like, sometimes when you're dedicated and you do have faith in what you're doing, you get more. You just have to really believe in what you're doing. And also, Rose, like I know you said like you have a group. Do you usually do you always like test your things with certain groups, like focus groups about your bathing suits, or maybe it's like something about your business? Do you usually do that too, or is it something where you just stay with a certain group of folks?
What do you mean? I don't get it.
So for instance, like with your bathing suits, do you do focus groups where like you're testing your actual bathing suits out, or do you only ask specific people about things that are pertaining to your business?
Uh,
No? So for instance, like if there's a random group of people, I want to see how like my one piece bathing suits are to a certain demographic of like whoever that you're selling your bathing suits to. Do you like do that with like different groups of people that you probably meet to like test out your products, or do you only keep those conversations to a certain group of folks that you only trust?
so that's definitely like inside information. So like I do test products out to different demographics to see who responds. But in the end, I do have my girl, that girl that's always on the go. She's an upcoming professional. So I do have my niche. But
Okay.
I do experiment outside of it because for some reason I do get a lot of customers that are from like 35 years old to 44.
Yeah.
Like the women who, they're still hot and want to feel hot. So they're like, I'm gonna rock this girl's stuff, and they buy it.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
I don't share that information with people. It's mainly like inside information. Like I'll let my business coach know about the results and the numbers and who reacted, and then she'll tell me,
Okay,
okay,
and the
so
analytics.
I want you to do this next, and I'm like, okay. And then also ask
Got you.
on Instagram or social media, would you guys wear this? Because a lot of times, some
Hmm.
designs are just one sample. It was like an idea randomly. Sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning and
Hmm.
I'm like, I was like, I need to sketch this. It needs to be made right now. So a lot of stuff sometimes is sample,
Yeah.
and I'll test it out and put on Facebook or Instagram in the story and be like, would you guys wear this? And I'll get like a good like 48 to 50 votes. And if it's
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, if
like I
it's
mean it can be any
75%,
type of analytics.
yeah, if it's 75% higher, then I'll put it on the website. And if it's not, then I have to figure out a different way to advertise it so that people would want to wear it. Because sometimes what I think is a great design, my audience, they're like, it's whatever.
Not sure about it.
Yeah.
How often do you find that often happening, or does your consumers kind of like go with the flow
I'm
with your
very like
designing?
the flow, like I'm like super spontaneous with everything. Because I just feel like if I have expectations and they're not met, I'm gonna be super
Mm-hmm.
upset. But at least if I'm just like go with the flow, like on the go and have no expectations, then whatever happens, happens, and I'll find a positive aspect to it. And I will hold on to anything that, was negative or if it didn't work out the way I wanted.
Speaking of that, I know you mentioned to me at one point the power and pain, and that you like that when you sew, like you're stitching out the pain. Like, do you want to explain a little bit about that? I feel like that could be very inspiring to those who are on this live and who also have their own businesses, and that can definitely be transferable.
Okay, so I didn't actually know what my exact philosophy on that was because I had dealt with a similar issue in college, but it was when I had my first boyfriend, right? I was in
Mm-hmm.
an abusive relationship and I was in denial about it because I grew up with, abuse. So I was like, no, 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 he's doing this because he loves me. Like, I did something bad. And
Mm-hmm.
then one day he just left. And I didn't know what to do with the pain. So I was like, okay, I need to do something. So the only thing that has ever helped me cope or become some kind of like coping mechanism is sewing. So I started sewing. So I sewed a collection of 8 swimsuits. And that's how my first collection started. So the whole collection is black. And then the final piece is white because throughout that whole darkness, at the end, there was light. Like I learned
I
to
love that.
with myself again and just learn like I don't need a man to make me happy. I have to make myself happy. Happiness comes
Yes.
within. And that's when I learned I was like, oh my God, I used darkness and pain to create art. So anytime that I feel upset now or something, it's like, I redo the same process. I'll create a new piece, draw something, sketch something, send it to the factory to be made. And
Yeah.
it's like, I can't let myself sink into that darkness because my mind could really go somewhere dark and it sucks.
I think that that is so awesome, Rose. I think that is, and it's very inspiring for a lot of people because I'm pretty sure, and no matter what business realm that you're in, like there's always those tough moments. And I actually think you wrote an Instagram post about it yesterday. Like behind every successful woman, there are a lot of unsuccessful moments. And I think no matter if you're a woman or a man or whatever you may identify as, everyone goes through those types of problems or those same type of situations and along their journey.
Yeah, but not many people can find like a coping mechanism or embrace that pain and be like, okay, I'm going to face this pain. I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to learn, the learning curve to know myself to not get there again. And, it's a lot of like self work and just teaching your mind to navigate in a different way in order to just stay on top and succeed. Because if I let depression get the best of me, I'd probably be dead by now. But I'm
Mm,
so grateful that I always just find a way out.
right. Yes. And like we still need these beautiful bathing suits and clothing. If we don't have your fashion line, we can't be able to experience them and wear them. And share that, just like you, we love your products that you're or and our fashion retail that you're putting out, Rose. What would you say the biggest thing that you learned or have learned about yourself during the process of your journey with your business?
Um, I would say working with other people. Like I've grown up so independent and so by myself that I find it difficult to reach out to people or just be like, hey, I need help. Can you sponsor me for this? I have trouble like asking for help because I'm so used to doing everything alone. But the truth is, you can't do everything alone. It's impossible. At
Yeah,
some point, you're going to need help. You're going to need a support system. Even emotionally, you're going to need that in order to grow.
right.
So, yeah, I guess I'm thankful for throughout the process developing a team around me that's there for me mentally, emotionally, and like physically. Like, I have my business coach, I have my assistant, I have my sponsor who's my boyfriend. So,
Hey,
say
yes, get
hi.
it, Rose. And he's so supportive. He's sitting right by you too, girl.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be here for you throughout the whole interview because he knows I'm like
Mine
all
is
in
sitting right here too.
it. So yeah, so I think learning to, I guess build a system of people I trust and can depend on, and not just
Yeah.
think that I can do it all by myself.
I think those are very aspiring words, Rose. And also, besides the team, like, is there anything that you would do to encourage anyone who may be going through certain things within their business or find that it's, hard to get their feet off the ground or maybe adding team members? Because sometimes that's a little scary when you start adding people to your team because it's a whole big, trust factor.
Um, yeah, that is true. What I did was I used Fever.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. Is it Fiverr?
Yeah, Fiverr. There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is it Fever? Okay, it's Fiverr, and I put up a post and I said I need an assistant to do these tasks. But before you're hired, I want to interview you via video cam if you're not local. And I'm
Mhm.
going to ask you questions. So I asked them personal questions and just like, I guess, mind tricky questions to see what their outlook and perspective is on a lot of things to see if their mind
Yeah.
works the same as mine. So I would test that person in different ways through questions before hiring them. If
Right.
they think like you, then they'll be able to always be 2 steps ahead of you. Like I have my
I
assistant.
love that. This
Yeah.
is great.
If like I have my assistant and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, just do the banner and then I'll be like, okay, so and he goes, I already uploaded it on the website, it's on the top banner, you're good. I'm like, oh, thank you. I forget that
That's a
he
great assistant, first of
yeah,
all.
he thinks
Like,
like me, so he's always 2 steps ahead. And then sometimes, he could be a Homer Simpson, like he'll get like I'm like, really, Jazz? Did you just ask me how to spell man? I was like, is your brain okay today? And he goes, sorry, the time zone is different, so I'm asleep. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I think that is, I actually, Rose, I think like this during this whole interview, you gave so many business gems. I feel like every time someone's on my live, they give amazing business gems alongside their business that they are also sharing with us as well. And I honestly couldn't be even more happy to have you on here to even for you to share that because that's like very personal, a lot of things that you did share, and I feel like everyone on here, I hope you were very touched by what she said because you don't get this every day. It's not
That's
an everyday thing.
that's true. A lot of people won't share like their personal struggles. They think like nobody needs to know that. But to me, I get fulfilled emotionally by sharing those experiences and being able to relate to other people through it. And if I've overcome, a certain issue or obstacle, then
Yeah.
it makes me happy to just be able to say, "Hey, this happened to me, and this is what I did to help cope with the pain and how I got through it." So maybe it'll work for you, and if not, find a different way to cope through it.
Yeah. My last question to you is what is next for Rose? I know you talked about being global, but like what's the super grand big picture?
My big picture is I want to have a Rose Paulino headquarters with with an internship program where all the kids from the entrepreneurship program, those who don't want to start their own business, they can come intern at my headquarters and just work in whatever department is their specialty and just learn how to grow. Like if they don't want to be an entrepreneur and hustle by themselves, then it's okay. You can come join my team and we hustle together.
I love that, Rose. I love every bit of that. And are you open to questions if people, because I know if someone's inspired, they're gonna reach out. But are you open to questions and different things like that on your DM or Instagram page?
Yeah, all the time. I get questions. Hey, I need to find a factory. What do you suggest? So I would suggest, tradekey.com. So you sign up, make a profile on your business and what it is, and then all factories worldwide will like contact you and say, "Hey, are you looking for a factory? We produce, I don't know, hair clips. What kind are you looking to do?" And then they send you samples in the mail, and then you pick what factory you want to move forward with. So, there's like all these tips that I've learned along the way, which it's public knowledge. It's all on the internet. Like
Yeah.
everything I know, it's not like it's private information. I just took the time to do the research and see what works for me. I tried so many different online things before finding out what worked.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I mean, I'm like so happy right now that you were able to join me today. Like my heart is full. I'm actually very, very happy for you, Rose. And that's also because I know you personally too.
Uh,
So it feels good to be able to see people who are around me who are like-minded flourish. And I think you have a very beautiful story. And let's just say it's Sunday, right? Like we
yeah.
said, but we're gonna claim that you have those headquarters to be able to help others. I think that's what we need to continue doing, helping others and bring others up along as we are going up as well. That's the only way we're gonna. It's the only way we're gonna make it. You
I
can't do it
agree.
all on your own. Do you have any last words before we end the live for your followers and everyone else who has gotten to know you today?
I'm going to say good karma.
Yes.
No, really. The energy you put out is what the world gives back to you. So if you're doing something that's making a difference in the smallest way, it has a huge impact, whether you believe it or not, So
Yeah.
the whole purpose of life is to just keep the cycle of good karma coming in and out from within you, outside of you, right back to you. So
Yeah.
that's why I feel like to all entrepreneurs, like make sure you always give back, even if it's donating $1 to, I don't know, a restaurant or something that's doing a donation for kids with cancer. It's
Yeah.
always about just doing one good thing every day so that that good karma can come back to you. Because there's been so many times where I'm down in the hole, like drowning in a cup of water, and I'm like, what am I
Yeah.
do? And
Yeah.
then I guess the fact that I always do something good every day, whether it's donating or giving somebody business advice,
Hmm.
somehow God goes, I'm here. All the good that you've done, I'm keeping account of it. And here you are, a free opportunity. So it's almost like everything that I
Yeah.
do, despite the fact that I'll, bring myself down about it, somehow God always brings me right back up and I get something to be excited about. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yes. And you get blessed 2 times, 3 times, 4 times fold, just like your In Touch Weekly feature. You thought
Yeah.
you was getting like one column, but you actually got four.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely, this is very beautiful. I have to tell you, it's really heartfelt. And so I want everyone to know that, listen, continue to put the good karma out, and do it literally from your heart, because that's the only way you're gonna fully get it back in full circle in return. Rose, this has been an absolute pleasure.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
this interview. I'm so happy that I could actually like tell you, call you, and ask you, could you come on here? And you said yes without a doubt. And so I want to thank you for that as well. I'm Chantel. This is Chantel's Beauty Talk. I just interviewed Rose Paulino, who is the founder and CEO of Rose Paulino US. And beauty is on the inside, it is on the outside. And of course, it's loving yourself. And that's all we talked about today. So until the next time, we will see you next Sunday. Thank you, Rose.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.